Thomas, Day Thomas, and of course the very talented Simas Lukosius. They combined for 60 points and ultimately advanced to this quarterfinal game. So as you size up Cincinnati's personnel, including the big fella Vandego inside, what concerns you the most about what the Bearcats present?
Well, probably the way they played yesterday, because like you said, they're not a great three-point shooting team. That's not how they roll, but they did yesterday. If you're a Kansas fan, hope they got them out of their system. How many times throughout the year have we seen a Day or a Lukosius have a career night against us? They had that yesterday. So hopefully, if you look at it that way, they got it out of their system. But they're going to be playing with a tremendous amount of confidence, and their teammates are going to look for them. So you got to be able to run them off the line. That's easier said than done, because when you do that, we've talked a lot about that. You run them off the line, then you're more apt to foul, because they're going to put it on the floor, go to the basket. You might put a hand out. You expose your big guy into having to help and possibly picking up foul troubles. And that's the thing we cannot afford tonight is foul trouble.
Completely agree. Bill Self said, particular to KJ Adams, you especially cannot afford to get into foul trouble because of the health status of Christian Brown's bro, Parker Brown, who right now is launching threes to our right, but still not 100% with that ankle he rolled 2 weeks ago in Waco. So hopefully Parker can still get healthy before the brackets come out on Sunday, but they're not considering him close to full strength, and thus they'd like to see KJ stay on the floor as much as he possibly can. Our keys have been presented by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas athletics, together with LMH Health. Obviously, it goes without saying, rebounding will be a huge key as well, especially when you go up against a club that's number 2 in the conference in rebounding and rebound margin. They haven't been as big, Greg, of late because they've dealt with their own injury with Victor Locken, who started at Kansas, the big Russian, 6'11", 240. He's got a bad ankle of his own. We're told he is available, but similar to Parker Brown, they're not going to use him a ton, so it's been primarily Bandego inside for them, and then a lot of reliance on their bigger wings as well. Skilling's at 6'6". You got guys like Newman at 6'5". They can mix it up as big rebounders as well, even though technically they are small forwards. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, a new look starting lineup certainly. That's straight ahead as the Delta Dental Jayhawks shoot-around continues on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
It's Ford Truck Month. Are you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month, based on 1977 to 2023 industry reported total sales. The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Big 12 Sports.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK, and I'm thrilled to share some exciting news with you. At Victory Ford, we pride ourselves on being your IRS point-of-sale dealer for EV vehicles. Picture this. Qualifying F-150 Lightnings come with a fantastic deal. A $7,500 tax credit up front, along with a dealer discount of $3,000. That's right, instant savings for you. But that's not all. If you're in the market for a thrilling drive, consider leasing a Mustang Mach-E and enjoy a $7,500 rebate. The Mustang Mach-E combines the exhilaration of a sports car with the sustainability of an electric vehicle. It's a win-win. We understand that your time and money are valuable, which is why at Victory Ford, our first price is better than our last. No haggling, just straightforward savings for you. Plus, our dealership is conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, making it easy for you to drop by and explore our impressive lineup. So why wait? Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or check out our website at victoryfordkc.com. Remember, at Victory Ford, our first price is better than their last.
here in Kansas City for the opening game for the Kansas Jayhawks against the Cincinnati Bearcats here at the T-Mobile Center. We are the late game and waiting around all day to get this rolling, and here in about 14 minutes we will have the tip. The starting lineups are brought to you by Club Car Wash, the official car wash of Kansas Athletics, with unlimited memberships starting at just $22 a month. There's no better time to find a location nearest you. Wes Miller brings the Bearcats in to the T-Mobile Center at 19-13, 7-11. Not a tournament team, but obviously if you go on a 4-game run, they can get in there, so that's what they're playing for, game by game. For the Bearcats, Wes Miller, a guy who played at North Carolina for Roy Williams, so a bit of a Roy Williams disciple. Play a little different brand of basketball, but learned under Coach Williams. They get it started with Day Thomas. Day, 6 foot, 185-pound junior, had 7 threes yesterday. A guy who shoots 24% from the three-point line. Looked like Steph Curry yesterday, so got to get a handle on Day. Dan Skillings at the 2, along with Johnny Newman. And then Simas Lukosius also had 7 threes yesterday. And Aziz Bandego, 7 foot, 235-pounder, athletic, long, changes shots, blocks shots, gets rebounds. And that's what KJ will be giving up. A solid 5 inches on Bandego is going to have to do that. But like I said before, I love the fact that KJ was the 5 all of last year. So it's all about positioning and playing smart. And I'm sure that Bill Self might junk up the defense just a little bit against Cincinnati. Kansas with its limited lineup of DeJuan Harris, Johnny Furphy, Elmarco Jackson, Nick Timberlake, and KJ Adams, with your 2 scholarship players on the bench being Parker Brown and Jamari McDowell. This has been the Delta Dental Jayhawks Shoot-Around. The opening tip is next, right here on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
It's Ford Truck Month. Are you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month, based on 1977 to 2023 industry-reported total sales.
This March, the best college basketball conference in the country is heading back to Kansas City for the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. From March 12th to the 16th, watch the best collegiate hoopers in the nation battle it out inside the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City for a chance at the Big 12 title. Tickets are available now at tmobilecenter.com. The Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Get your tickets now.
How is that not a charge? I'm calling Brian Haney to see if he can do something about these refs.
Hey, Matt, what's up, bud? Hey, you don't call the game as we speak, right?
Brian, tell those refs to put their glasses on. That was a horrible call. I saw it clear as day here at the 23rd Street Brewery.
Okay, Matt, I'll see what I can do.
And he rocks the rim with a right-hand hammer.
Hey, I gotta go, man.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I need to whip up a couple pans of Bill Self mac and cheese.
Watch our Jayhawks at the 23rd Street Brewery if you can't be at the game.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
It's
It's a different kind of feel in Kansas City this week as the 16th ranked Kansas Jayhawks enter Big 12 tourney play as a 6th seed for the first time ever and will be resting both of its injured All-American candidates, Hunter Dickinson and Kevin McCullough. Bill Self delivered some good news on Monday that both are expected back and are ready to roll next week for March Madness, but it'll be a super small and shorthanded KU team for this week's Big 12 tournament. 17 times in 28 years, Kansas has been the 1 seed at the Big 12 tourney. But while this year they don't find themselves in their usual perch, there's still plenty to be gained by this younger group of Jayhawks, and a chance to deliver more big moments in a season that has already featured plenty of jaw-dropping highlights. Into Harris at midcourt, a running head start. Juan flings back. Dickinson wants a 3. He got it! He got it indeed! He holds the follow-through in the air. All kinds of swag. Run into the locker room from Hunter Dickinson. This one's tipped and taken away. McDowell batting it ahead to Harris. A lob. Timberlake. A slam! Are you kidding me? Timberlake takes it to the top floor and throws it down. Down to 7. KJ looking to create off the bounce. Kicks to Harris. Pulls up for 14. Rattled it home. What a bucket for DeJuan Harris. Here's a tip and a steal by McCullough. This could be fun. Kevin to the cup. Two-hand monster jam. 16,300 roaring. Kansas pouring it on. 30-15 Jayhawks. Tonight, the shorthanded Jayhawks battle 11th seeded Cincinnati, who they squeaked by at full strength in the fog back in January, 74-69. The Bearcats boast the number 2 rebounding team in the league, making tonight's tilt an even tougher test with no 7-2 center in the mix for Kansas. But Bill Self has told this remaining bunch to play free and let it fly, so we could see a faster and more three-point reliant team here tonight as Hawks try to avoid going one and done in KC. So, can Kansas win without its 2 senior stars and march on to the Big 12 quarterfinals? Or will Cincinnati prey on KU's injury woes and make it a short-lived stay in KC? Find out next on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Go Wheat.
Two-hand layup good. One on the feed. Kansas back up by 1. Here's a lob. Big catch. Big dunk.
It's game time.
Splits 2 defenders. Gets inside. Gets the hoop and the harm. Here comes Kansas. A right-hand layup good.
On the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield. Live play-by-play action of Jayhawk basketball is brought to you by Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at DeltaDentalKS.com. The Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. By the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. Now let's go live to courtside alongside Greg Gurley. Here's the voice of the Jayhawks, Brian Haney.
Back live at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, the Jayhawks of Kansas, the Bearcats of Cincinnati, a series that is tied 4-4 all time. About to tip it off here in about 6 minutes, live in KC. Previous game ran a little bit long. The K-State hangs on to beat Texas. They move on to face Iowa State, the 2 seed, coming up tomorrow evening. They've already seen TCU advance over Oklahoma, 77-70. The Horned Frogs get top-seeded Houston. And then, of course, early today, BYU, they raced out to a 21-3 lead. UCF fought back to make a game of it. The 20th-ranked BYU still won 87-73. So they advance as well. And that'll set up a 4-versus-5 matchup with Texas Tech and BYU tomorrow in the early game. Kansas, should they advance, will be right back here tomorrow night in this same 8:30 time time slot, which predictably is always closer to 8:45. But we'd be great with that because Kansas would be moving on. As I said, we've almost never seen Kansas in a situation like this. Certainly the 6th seed is a first-time thing. But to be this walking wounded, this depleted roster-wise, this would be quite a story if they could make any kind of run here this week.
Yeah, no question. It's definitely everyone's against us. You know, even though we're the underdog in this building, we're kind of the favorite. We're going to have the home crowd, and you know, things got to go our way. You know, we got to make some opportunities for ourselves. We got to want it more. We got to get on the floor. We got to get the 50-50 balls. We got to make sure that we think every rebound is ours, because this is a good rebounding team, and probably just give up on the offensive glass, so to speak. You might get some long rebounds on missed threes, but you got to get on the defensive glass, because Cincinnati can really hurt you with their size and athleticism.
How rare is it to see Kansas playing on day one? Technically, this is day 2, but obviously it's not usually been a 5-day format prior to all these additional teams coming in. But just once have the Jayhawks ever been in a Big 12 tournament first-round game. They've almost always been in the quarterfinals. How good have they been in the quarterfinals? They are 22-3 in quarterfinal action. Keep in mind, there was no tournament when the pandemic hit in 2020, so that means of the 26 tournaments, they were moving on to the semis in 22 of 26 years. It was almost expected that they were in the Final Four of the Big 12 Conference tournament. So to be here playing on a Wednesday as a 6th seed and to be underdogs, it's such a rare feeling, but it could be a whole lot of fun if they play with a chip on their shoulder and come out and shock the rest of the conference and Cincinnati in the process.
Yeah, and that's what our staff has to convey to our guys. It could be so much fun here tonight to just go out here and essentially shock the world, as crazy as that sounds. And we're talking about it on a Wednesday game. So, yes, it is what it is. This is where we are at. And we still have a lot of basketball to be played, and we can build some momentum here with the guys that we need next week. Now, Hunter and Kevin should be good to go next week, and with a energized and confident group of bench players and other guys, could really be a problem for a lot of teams come the big tournament.
Here's what I want to know, as we're still about 2 minutes away from the starting lineups and the opening tip-off and all of that. We know we need big points out of DeJuan tonight. He needs to be an offensive initiator and instigator on that end of the floor. We know KJ, as our lone true big that plays a lot of minutes, that's healthy right now, he's got to be big. But of the other guys that have to step up, the obvious answer is Johnny Furphy. He had his best day ever versus Cincinnati, 23-11 back in January. So take him out of the equation. You can't pick Furphy. But for our pick to click, or I'm going to call it the hawk to rock, amongst the unusual suspects, somebody's got to emerge. Is it the kid the internet calls Nicky Buckets, Nick Timberlake? Is it the McDonald's All-American finally looking the part, Elmarco Jackson? Or does somebody like Jamari McDowell come out of left field and wind up stealing the show? You got to give me one hawk to rock beyond the obvious. Who's it going to be here tonight?
Elmarco Jackson. I thought 2 Saturdays ago in that second half against Baylor, he was really good. I loved what he did down there, even in a loss. And then Houston made a couple shots. So you got to pick one guy. I'd love to pick Nick, but I'm going to pick Elmarco Jackson.
Okay. I like it. I'll take Timberlake then. I think we're all hoping that this is a deep March run fueled by a special shooter that finally catches fire. I'm not saying he's going to be Malik Newman or Remy Martin or have anything close to the impact they had on some months of March runs, but I'm hoping the best is yet to come for Nick, as he hinted at in his senior speech just about a week and a half ago. I'm hopeful that the best is unfolding in front of our eyes these next 4 weeks for Nick Timberlake.
And as Kansas fans, we saw that exact scenario unfold just 2 years ago with a guy by the name of Remy Martin, who carried us to a national title along with others. Can Nick be that spark that Remy was? We're going to find out here over the next 10 games. How about that? 4 here, year and 6 in the big boy tournament.
We're used to always saying 9 because this is 3 in Kansas City. Of course, Kansas would love to play at least 2 this week. Not counting our Jayhawks before they hatch with such a shorthanded group. Who knows? We're going to take it day by day. But right now, the lights are turned out here at T-Mobile. We're getting set to do the starting lineups for the Cincinnati Bearcats, who will be wearing their road black uniforms with red numerals and white trim. Kansas, as the higher seed, will be in the home whites. Favored only in terms of seeding. They're underdogs everywhere else based on the player availability with no McCullough or Dickinson and a less than healthy Parker Brown as well. So Kansas in the jerseys of the favorites, but that's about it. Kansas coach is wearing navy blue quarter zips as Bill Self breaks huddle, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that this time a year ago we didn't have Coach Self, as obviously he had a major health scare.
Well, and it's been a crazy year, you know, if you really take it all in. Last year, obviously, when we were here on the Wednesday is when Bill got sick and we never saw him again the rest of the year. And then, you know, you look at the NCAA stuff finally came to a halt, and he's, you know, there's just been a ton of stuff in this past year. 9 scholarship players down to 7. It is, again, it's a term that I don't like to say, but it is what it is. You got to deal with it. No one's gonna feel sorry for you. There's not one person outside of the state of Kansas that feels sorry for Kansas.
Completely agree, but I'll tell you what, a lot of teams and a lot of players and a lot of media types are going to be sleeping on Kansas with the way they've kind of limped into the postseason, physically and metaphorically, with the way their seed line has dropped. Maybe that's right where we want to be. Somebody looking ahead of a team that so often is the team sitting on the highest perch that everybody's gunning for. Maybe in this March, when Kansas sees the bracket on Sunday and has 2 or 3 teams in front of them that everybody's going to be picking instead of the Hawks, maybe lurking in the weeds, a chance to attack as an overlooked team will be exactly what this club needs.
Yeah, we're not used to that. You know, we're usually the ones everyone's trying to catch, and we might be the ones that'll surprise some people. But you got to do it on the court. You know, it's one thing for you and I to say it, Bill to say it. The guys that are playing got to figure it out.
Now the Jayhawks are having their starting lineups announced here at T-Mobile. Capacity 17,763. Jayhawks obviously with a rich history in the Big 12 championships that we talked about earlier. 22-3 in quarterfinal games. That would be tomorrow. This is just their second ever true first round game, although the Big 12 this year calls it the second round, since we had 2 rounds of play-in action, and there's 4 seeds where Kansas would typically find themselves. That was considered a double bye this year. Texas Tech got the spot that KU wanted. BYU and Kansas, who are both tied with Tech with that 10-8 record, lost out based on the tiebreakers. That's why the Hawks find themselves in an unfamiliar spot of the 6th seed here. But Kansas 49-13 in this tournament all time, and talked about all the success, 17 years of being a 1 seed in this tournament out of 27 total tourneys, considering 2020 didn't feature one. We've been so spoiled to always see Kansas in the catbird seat. They'll have to claw their way out of the middle of the pack this week, and about to do so with a starting lineup of DeJuan Harris, Johnny Furphy, Elmarco Jackson, Nick Timberlake, and KJ Adams. Our officials for tonight's game, Jerry Pollard and Rada Tilley, who we see a lot of, and then Tyler Combs is not one we often see on the Big 12 circuit. He'll be our 3rd and final official here today. Kansas huddling up in the home whites. DeJuan Harris leading that huddle with some extra vocal assistance from KJ Adams. Those will be 2 veterans, and those will be 2 cornerstone pieces next year. We hope Johnny Furphy is back on this team next year, but while Flory Bidunga is nowhere to be found, this is a little bit of a glimpse into what we'll see a lot of next year.
Yeah, no question. And like you said, I think everyone's hopes, watch all the mock drafts and all the stuff that Johnny is back, but time will tell on that one.
In the jump circle, Bandego out-jumps KJ Adams. He had about a 6-inch height advantage. He knocks it deep into the backcourt where Cincinnati collects, and Dade Thomas will bring it up the court. He had 29 yesterday on the opening day of the Big 12 championships. Goes off to Lukosius, who had 31 yesterday. So look to lob inside. A tip by Elmarco and a steal for Kansas. He was fronting the post at Bandego, and the smaller guard jumped up with those long arms to tip it away. away. Here comes Timberlake. Steps through, floats, misses on a banker, and the rebound tipped about. A scrum for the ball. Murphy's got it, and KU will keep. He had 11 rebounds in the first meeting, already one here today.
I just said, just give up on the offensive rebound. First possession, Johnny gets in there, gets another possession for Kansas.
Harris to the stop and go, puts up a running floater that misses too strong off the glass. Rebound Cincinnati.
It was kind of an afterthought. It was almost like DeJuan overran the rim.
Newman open for a three right side, launches and misses. Rebound Jackson. Marco with two nice contributions already. Here comes Firsty, forcing the issue, drives in and kicks back to Nick. He finds KJ, steps through, shoots and scores. He parted that black sea of black jerseys and lays it up and in. 2-0 Kansas.
Play fast, the ball doesn't stick, work it around the perimeter and get shots like that.
Nice aggressive athletic drive with a double pump as well from KJ Adams. 2-0 Kansas here early. Skillings looking to drive on Timberlake, plows through and throws off in the corner, and there's a three-pointer falling from Day Thomas.
A bit of an uncontrolled drive there. Thought Kansas might have drawn the charge, but instead they pitched it out the corner. First three of the game by Cincinnati.
Thomas started the week less than 25% from three, but he lit it up yesterday with 7 of them. Here's a ball juggled and kicked out of bounds. Murphy and Harris were batting it back and forth like a hot potato, and it's knocked loose out of bounds. A turnover on Kansas.
And the spacing just wasn't there and couldn't get their hands on it, so it's something they really have to control as well are the turnovers.
How do you explain a guy that's shooting in the low 20 percentiles all season from three, going 7 of 10 yesterday, then he hits his first here today? There was hope that guys like Thomas and Lukosius would cool off and regress to the mean. Here's Lukosius for three. It misses. Long rebound, though, to Skillings of Cincinnati.
West Virginia got a dose, but we've got a lot this year where guys that don't make a lot of threes go crazy, and that's what happened for 2 Bearcats.
Here's hoping they cool off tonight. Thomas steps back, rejected by Johnny. Big time play by the Aussie. Here comes Kansas. Harris crosses over, gets inside, flings back to Johnny. He wants a three, misses it short, and the rebound underneath. To Bandego.
Yeah, nice man-to-man defense by Johnny Furphy. Didn't give up the drive and got a hand up and blocked the shot. So far, even though Kansas down 3-2, I like the start.
Skillings, though, misses on a bunny. Tip try won't go, and now a whistle and a foul inside on Kansas. Skillings with a nice pirouette move on the left block. Got around KJ.
They're going to get DeJuan for that foul, not KJ, which, I don't know who I'd rather have that one on.
Well, I think you trust DeJuan to play without fouling.
Yeah, because KJ's going to be mixing it up underneath, getting bodies on guys. So first free throws of the night is Skillings knocks it down. He missed a wide open layup and then got fouled on the offensive rebound.
He was an honorable mention all Big 12 pick, as was Bandego. Second free throw also good, 5-2. Cincinnati team also had a player featured on the All Big 12 defensive team. That was John Newman. 5-2 Bearcats. Harris ahead to KJ. Steps through. Leans in. And a travel is called before he banked it in. Bill Self up in arms, irate at the call. It was Tyler Kumpf on the whistle, taking away the bucket from Adams. He's getting an earful from Self.
There was a lot of contact there, and see that called very often. And KJ made the bucket, so frustrating.
Now Bandego hits the deck and the ball's thrown out of bounds. They were trying to lob it into the big 7-footer. He crumbled to the ground and it wound up in the camera well. A turnover on the Bearcats.
Yeah, Bill Self still all over Tyler Coombs. You mentioned it. We haven't seen him all year. We typically know all the officials, and I don't think we've had him one time this year, have we?
Not once. This is obviously game 32. Furphy on a blow-by, gets inside and lays it up and in. A great aggressive drive by the Awesome Aussie.
It was a great drive and a great use of the screen. He curled it. There's a
Skillings on the other end, gives it right back to Johnny.
Yeah, he just went in and Johnny just retreated and allowed Skillings to get really close.
Up and in for Skillings, 7-4 Cincinnati. Little stop and go move for Elmarco, up and under, misses off the bottom of the rim, but a whistle and a foul. And a very good free throw shooter, Elmarco Jackson, at 80%. They go to the line as they put this one on Lukosius.
And be aggressive like that, Elmarco. Nice job. Had a little bit of an angle. He'll get to the free throw line, see the ball go through the cup a couple times in the free throw line. Would be a good start. And on the last possession for Johnny Furphy, he just really utilized that screen by KJ perfectly as Elmarco misses the first to two. Everything gets amplified tonight, so turning the ball over and missing free throws are going to be even bigger, so got to take advantage of the free ones.
Second free throw is good. A pure swish. 7-5 Cincinnati. As Bill Self said, this Bearcats club scored 90 yesterday when they hit those 16 threes. He says, we can't score 91 with this group. We just can't. We've got to find a way to D them up better. Cincinnati only averages 75 typically, so keep them closer to what they normally put forth.
And the days of us scoring 90, that was the first two games of the year when we had back-to-back 99s, but not a high-scoring Kansas team.
Skillings spinning on Elmarco, steps back, fires, and misses. Rattled it in and out, no good. Johnny Furphy, another rebound, cleaning the defensive glass. 7-5 Cincinnati. Hawks have been good defensively. Here's KJ kicking out. Nick wants a three. It's blocked. And Cincinnati fights for the rebound, but tips to KJ, and he slams it home. It bounced back and forth like a pinball, and KJ said, hey, look what I found. He rifles it through for two, and we're all square at 7 apiece.
It's an offensive rebound, but they just dropped it after the miss and the block on Timberlake 3, so you'll take that one all day.
Newman in the paint gets fouled by Elmarco, and the bucket's good. The foul came on a downward hack while he was still lifting up. Elmarco's arm came off, and so he had a pretty clean shot at that point. It was one of those continuation-type plays, and it's going to be an and one for Cincinnati.
He clearly got him on the arm after he let him penetrate a little bit too close. Second time that Cincinnati's done that, once with Skillings, that time with Newman. First half action is brought to you by Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAAM.
Prior to that, Kansas had been really good defensively. They held Cincinnati to 2 of 7 to start, a couple of turnovers, getting a bunch of defensive rebounds. I like what we've seen on this end of the floor. Offensively, it's been a little more laborious, but they are getting some slashing drives and rim finishes. We'll see if they can spread the floor and open it up from deep as this game continues. Unleash your smile power with Delta Dental of Kansas. Learn more about individual and family plans at DeltaDentalKS.com. 9-7 Cincinnati with a free throw pending for the Bearcats when we come back on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Our new breakfast burrito is a fully loaded breakfast. I don't even know if I have enough time to tell you everything that's inside. 2 fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, 6 strips of bacon, cheese sauce wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Yes! And now, come and get it. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new breakfast burrito. Only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hey there, Jayhawk fans. Coach Self here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Dillon's app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points as well. Best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another championship season. Dillon's, fresh for everyone. Rock Chalk.
Now at Sleep Outfitters, save up to 30% on Sealy, America's most trusted mattress brand. That's right, up to 30% off Sealy Outfitters, Posturepedic, and Posturepedic Plus spring mattresses. 16 models to choose from, starting at just $175. Come into Sleep Outfitters today and let our expert outfitters help you find the right mattress to fit your body and your budget, giving you the life-changing sleep you deserve. Go to sleepoutfitters.com to find the store nearest you.
Hi, this is Jeff Gildner from the 1988 National Championship Team, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
We could use some of that 1988 magic on this postseason run in front of our Jayhawks. Right now they trail 9-7 to Cincinnati, with a free throw pending here for Newman when we come back from this timeout. Let's first pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball.
You're listening to the most powerful sports station in the country. Sports Radio 810, WHB Kansas City, the power of sports.
Newman to the stripe where he's a 73% foul shooter. He and Day-Day Thomas are the only Bearcats to start every single game this year, all 32 of them. And they describe him as the heart and soul of this team. He was on the All-Big 12 defensive team. Got a big and one here to give the Bearcats a 3-point lead if he can hit the free throw. No substitutions for the Jayhawks during the timeout. Free throw good. 3-point play completed. 10-7 Cincinnati. DeJuan Harris to walk it up the floor. Harris yet to score. KJ Adams has 4 of KU's 7 points. KJ collects from 15 feet, fires and misses. Problem with him taking that shot, you don't have anybody inside to rebound. And Cincinnati predictably comes up with the board.
But he's added that to his game, and not going to get a lot of offensive rebounds anyway. There's a nice drive by Skillings, and got tangled up here with Newman, Harris, and Timberlake after the make. And Jerry's having a stern word with Nick Timberlake. No foul was called.
Wow, how about that? So Jerry, a veteran official.
Well, what happened was Nick got hit right in the face after he got blown by Bandego, and that's where he was frustrated.
Bucket's good from Skillings. 12-7 Cincinnati. It's their biggest lead. Pollard gave him a warning, and it was a little terse and tense between those two for a second there, and then the crowd got involved as the conversation continued. Harris steps through, puts up a floater. It's good. He banks it home, does DeJuan, and KU down 3.
And nobody was running with him. He had to shoot that one. KJ was camped out at the free throw line, so nice job by DeJuan to stop this Cincinnati run.
I don't know if he needs to score 20 for Kansas to win, but he's got to be north of 15. He has to be an instigator. Here's a drive, and a stumbling Skillings will turn it over. Jackson on the steal. To the cup. A monster jam. Elmarco Jackson rocks that rim with a dunk. Heard all the way across the Sunflower State.
Signs of Wayne Selden on that rim about 7 years ago. He did that also against Wichita State. So what an energy play by Elmarco Jackson.
Hawks down just one. What a dunk by Elmarco. Holy cow.
The middle just parted, and there's a turnover by Cincinnati. It's plays like that when you're up against everyone. The energy, the adrenaline, the confidence, the momentum, and what a play by Elmarco Jackson off 1 foot. And he got fouled, too. I don't know how they don't call it a foul. Newman came across the arm. Should have been an and one.
Skillings on a turnover. Will give it right back. Hawks down by a point. Nick pulls up from 18, missed it short. He's opened 0 of 3. One of those was blocked. Cincinnati with a rebound. Newman down the heart of the floor. Dribbles in. Tries to find Lukosius. He does. He'll launch a 3 that misses strong. Rebound to Juan Harris. And the great KU defense continues. Since he's 4 of 11. Nick inside. Gets hit. No foul call. They a clean block, but they're going to say off Timberlake, and he can't believe it. He said, surely it's our ball, if not a foul, but nothing going Nick's way here early.
Yeah, I don't know how that was off of Nick. We're watching the replay, and you know what? As he tried to, after he got the shot block, he tried to grab it, and that was off Nick Timberlake.
Rough start for Nick. 12-11 Cincy.
Obviously, that would have been a big one to get. Oh,
Jizzle James drives into the chest of KJ Adams, and the son of the former NFL All-Pro running back will draw contact and a foul on KJ. Edgerrin James is, by the way, in attendance today. He's sitting right behind the Cincinnati bench, wearing Bearcats colors tonight. I'm told he was wearing a Cincinnati, or rather a Miami hat yesterday.
I saw that yesterday.
He starred, yeah.
They say one of the nicest men you'll ever be around.
That's good to hear. They get it in to Skillings. Cincinnati by a point. Muscles one up over KJ that banks home.
And there's not much KJ can do about that. He just got called for a foul. Kind of had to let him have that one.
And you know Cincinnati is well aware of the depth issues. Obviously, they're going to start to take it right at KJ, knowing you don't have a proven post backup with an unhealthy Parker Brown. Here's a missed jump hook by DeJuan Harris, who's batted about on the rebound, but Cincinnati comes down with it with Reynolds. 14-11 Bearcats. James spinning on Furphy. Hangs. Misses off the side of the goal. Rebound Nick Timberlake. Here come the Hawks down 3. El Marco thought about a 3. Kicks back to Furphy. 12:30 to go in the half. Hawks down 3. 14-11. Harris being hounded by Thomas. Has his pocket picked. It's taken away by Day Thomas. Here come the Bearcats. Thomas dribbles in. Now backs it out between the circles and hands off to Skillings, their top scorer. He launches a deep 3 that misses side iron, and Nick Timberlake has the carom for Kansas. Here come the Hawks. KJ hands to Furphy. Johnny leaning in. Throws back to KJ. Now El Marco, a 3 off the catch. Missed it off the heel. No good. He's kind of feeling himself. Bit of a heat check there, and misses it strong.
In a normal game, that's a bad shot, but those are the shots that you got to take right now. Somewhat open. Here's a blow-by James.
Gets around Jackson and lays it up and in, and Cincinnati on a 4-0 spurt has blown it back up to a 5-point lead. 16-11 Bearcats. Jamari McDowell will check in at the next dead ball. Harris at the top, right side Nick. He'll try another 3. Missed it strong. He's off the mark to open this game. And he's had a couple of questionable calls go against him. That's also probably gotten in his head. But Timberlake opening now 0 for 4. 16-11 Bearcats. Kansas needs a media timeout. Looking a little bit gassed right now. They get it into Reynolds, being guarded by DeJuan Harris. They kick it back out. James for 3. It's good. Timeout, Bill Self. Cincinnati with its biggest lead, 19-11. And the free-flying Jayhawks, the let it fly from 3 Jayhawks, aren't hitting anything from deep. 0 for 4. And the hopes of someone like Furphy or Timberlake or Jackson catching fire with the jump shot is not coming through just yet.
Yeah, such a tight game. You know, Kansas got it to 12-11. Nick Timberlake fumbled it out of bounds, and then Cincinnati goes on a 7-0 run that gets Bill Self to call his first time out. Listen up, Jayhawk fans. On game day, stop by Wendy's and buy 1 Baconator and get a second Baconator for just $1. Now, let's all cheer for bacon and big plays all season long. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics.
19-11. Cincinnati leading our Jayhawks. It's a 7-0 Bearcat run, as Greg mentioned. This is the biggest deficit for Kansas thus far. 11:03 to go in the first on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Join the best in banking when you open your account with Central Bank. We're rooted in legendary customer service and have the tools to make banking easy. Our award-winning mobile app has more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9 star rating. Experience it for yourself and see why our customers love it. We can't wait to show you how awesome it is to bank with us. Get started by visiting centralbank.net/betterbanking. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is SSJ, and I want to talk to you about a new partner of Sports Radio 810, WeatherTech Renovations. You know, there's always madness in March, especially the weather. And then April showers bring May flowers. But heavy rain also causes leaks in roofs. Make the easy call to the trusted local roofing professionals at WeatherTech Renovations today. One quick call.
He didn't get a foul call on what he thought was a foul. There was another time where he got hit in the face, and Jerry Pollard, one of the officials, wound up getting nose-to-nose with Nick, and so he probably feels right now mentally and confidence-wise that there's a lot piling up against him. What's it going to take to get him on track? Because clearly Kansas can't win without him tonight.
Yeah, you got to get him some open looks, and he's got to work hard off the ball and use screens and get himself some open looks. Maybe get to the free throw line, see a couple free throws, but not a good first 8 minutes for Nick Timberlake.
See what Jamari McDowell can do off the bench. Harris to walk it up the floor. Cincinnati on that 7-0 run has built up their biggest lead of 8. KJ picks up his dribble on the right wing, throws back to Harris.
They're trying to get a backdoor by DeJuan, and good defense by Cincinnati.
Harris goes up and under, flings in the corner to Elmarco. He drives across the paint, throws off to KJ with 6 to shoot. KJ lost the handle, throws to a streaking Jamari, and McDowell lays it up and in. What a find by KJ Adams.
And a smart play by Jamari McDowell. Just cut to the basket. You don't know what you're doing. KJ will find you. Much needed bucket by Kansas late in the clock.
KJ was kind of kicking it around a little bit. The Kansas bench was growing anxious. A lot of coaches yelling at him, but the play continued. A player opened up, and the Hawks get a hoop. Cincinnati leading 19-13. James with the basketball between the rings. Crosses over twice. Driving on KJ. Fade. Throws up a wild one. Misses short. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Reynolds, and Cincy will keep.
Yeah, you did a nice job defensively, and then there's a wild shot by
Reynolds. Misses. Offensive rebound. Stick back won't go. This time Elmarco's got it. Here comes Kansas.
What a great rebound by Elmarco Jackson up against the trees.
KJ steps through, leads in. There you go. Gets the bucket to go, and the foul. A chance at 3 for KJ Adams.
That's why you got to climb the glass on the defensive end, then go out in transition. You catch him sleeping, get up to Jamari. He throws it to Elmarco. That leaves a lane for KJ. And how many times have we seen that? Where he gets it, kind of leans in, draws a little contact, and he's strong enough to get the and one.
Kind of a body-seeking drive, a lean in to get the whistle on Reynolds, but strong enough with that right hand to absorb the blow and still get off a shot. Free throw is good. 3-point play completed. Hawks back to within 3.
What a great timeout by Bill Self, and since that timeout, a little 5-0 run by Kansas.
19-16 Cincinnati. Day Thomas nearly traveled. They have gotten away with one there. Bandego holds it high above his head. Back to Thomas at the top. Left side read. Jamari McDowell right there on the catch. Kansas in a man-to-man. Shot clock showing 8. James looks up at the clock. Throws off to Thomas. Steps back on a deep 3 from Raytown. And he hit it. Oh, my. Nothing going on that possession, and they throw in a 26-footer.
I don't know what else you can do there. Pretty good defense, and he just made a step back 25-footer.
Murphy on the other end, crosses over, splits 2 defenders, leans in, misses, stick back, good for Jamari McDowell. 2 buckets in the paint for Murray, and Kansas down 4.
A ton of contact there as Johnny went through. Great job by Jamari to clean that up. Got to play through contact.
The hawk to rock, as we were predicting the unusual suspects, may have been McDowell. After all, here's Lukosius, blocked going up by Murphy and taken away by the freshman. Here come the Jayhawks, down by 4. Harris at the top, off on the right side to Jackson. He crosses over, gets a screen from DeJuan. Flings left side. McDowell wants a 3. Oh boy, missed it well strong. It's an air ball. ball, and the rebound to Cincinnati. He's had a couple like that in the last week and a half where he's missed everything.
Goes
22-18.
Goes up with a ton of confidence, looks great, and then misses everything.
Lukosius, he'll try a three that's good, and that's back-to-back free balls by Cincinnati to extend their lead to 7. Hawks had fought so hard to cut it to 3, and next thing you know, right back to a 3-possession game. Harris hooks back to KJ from 15. No good. In and out, crawled off. Lukosius with the rebound. Lukosius out of Lithuania, a transfer from Butler, coming off an unbelievable game yesterday with 31 points. 25-18 Cincinnati. They lob for Bandego, too tall on the back line. Ball tipped loose by Jackson. They keep it, though, and fling it out. James, left side, thought about a 3. Drives on Elmarco, gets inside and scores. Wow, like he was shot out of a cannon. He comes barreling through. Here's a lob to KJ. Broken up by the 7-footer Bandego. And that's going to give us a timeout on the floor. Boy, Cincinnati with a counter punch after the Hawks had pulled within 3. You look away for a second. Next thing you know, it's a 9-point Bearcat lead.
Yeah, a couple of threes, and then the drive to the basket after Kansas was fighting back in it. But Cincinnati starting to get hot beyond the arc. They're now 4 of 8. That's 12 points. Kansas 0 of 5 behind the line. For all your farm, business, home, and auto insurance needs across the state, call an agent with the Kansas Insurance.
Of course, we're not far from transfer portal season opening up. How big a priority is shooting, and more shooting for next year's roster?
Yeah, it's shooting and guys that can create off the bounce. It's wings, for sure.
Hawks continue to be outscored from the perimeter, and significantly. Right now, a 12-point differential in 3-point points. 27-18 Cincinnati. 7:20 to go here in the first half. Sleep Outfitters is now open in Kansas City, and there's never been an easier way to get life-changing sleep from the most trusted mattress brands. Find your store today at sleepoutfitters.com. 27-18 Bearcats. 7:20 to play in the first half on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just 1 pill can kill.
Hi, I'm Tammy Peterman, president of the Kansas City Division of the University of Kansas Health System. We are proud to once again be the only hospital recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the best in Kansas and Kansas City, with 8 nationally ranked medical and surgical adult specialties. We remain committed to providing outstanding health care delivered in the most compassionate way right here at home. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/compassionate care.
It's Ford Truck Month. Are you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month, based on 1977 to 2023 industry-reported total sales.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is Greg Ostertag, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
27-18 Cincinnati. The Bearcats have heated up from deep and all over the floor. 44% from the floor, 50% from beyond the arc. Kansas, you hoped with this shorthanded group, would build an early lead because at some point fatigue is going to set in. Playing right now just 7 guys as Parker Brown makes his entrance for the first time, but we're told his minutes will be very limited. Instead, just the opposite has happened. They've dug themselves a 9-point hole. What was the message during that huddle double up between the timeouts.
You got to run them off the line. Right now they've made 4 out of 8 beyond the arc, and now it's easier said than done when you run them off the line. They've either made threes or they've got buckets at the rim. So kind of a pick your poison, and right now they're beating you from the three-point line.
Timberlake and Brown back in. Harris, your veteran leader, on the floor. 27-18 Cincy. They get it into Nick. He fades, fires, and misses off the top of the backboard. My goodness. He is 0 for 5, and when you miss him that badly, you really have to worry about his confidence right now.
I mean, he was open. He came off a screen and hit the corner of the backboard. And he wasn't behind the backboard. So that's definitely cause for concern.
He told us on Hawk Talk on Monday the key to having a memorable March for him and bottling up what we saw versus K-State is to just not overthink. He says his problem this season is he's been thinking too much. Right now, 0 for 5. You hope he can flush the results. Here's a tip by Timberlake, and the steal collected by Brown. That all started by the active hands of Nick.
Yeah, nice job by Nick getting that deflection and getting his team an extra possession.
Head to McDowell. Hawks trailing by 9. McDowell on the left wing. Here's a drive. Floats in, kicks back. Parker fakes on a 3. Off to Harris. Dribbles in, stumbles. Shot clock at 6. Gets to his feet. Dribbles behind his back, looking for some help. Parker has to launch a 3. He missed it. And the rebound to Cincinnati inside.
Well, not much going on that possession. DeJuan slipped. Then they double-teamed, and Parker had to launch that one.
27-18 Cincy. Newman driving on McDowell. Has it knocked loose and out of bounds off of Kansas, they say. It'll stay with the Bearcats, who lead it 27-18.
Yeah, good catch-up by Jamari McDowell. Newman had the angle. He got a hand on it, and it was almost simultaneous possession out of bounds, but they give it to Cincinnati.
Oh, no. Kansas wasn't paying attention. Skillings missed a bunny. Parker was looking away, and that should have been an easy lay-in, but Skillings somehow blew it from point-blank range.
Kansas had their hands in their pocket.
Harris puts up a floater, misses. Scoring drought continues. Over 3 minutes of a scoring drought. Rebounds Cincinnati.
And that's DeJuan's shot going to the left.
James for 3. Misses with a brick. Rebound Parker Brown. Here comes Kansas. Harris down the left side. Had it stripped loose and taken away. Bandego comes up with the steal as Juan got his pocket picked. Skillings on the other end, driving on Brown. Has it blocked by Parker. Long rebound knocked into the backcourt and collected there by Cincinnati. Hawks need a dead ball here to get Furphy and Adams back in the game. Newman on the right side puts up a long 3 that's good. And when he's hitting threes along with Thomas, you know you're in trouble. These are not three-point shooters by reputation. But right now, Cincinnati is 5 of 10 from deep.
Yeah, and you just can't do it right now. You're not hitting threes, and Kansas on over a 4-minute scoring drought.
His team only shoots threes at 31%. Harris to Timberlake in the corner, out to Jackson, who fakes on a 3. Now he pulls the trigger. Missed it strong. Long rebound goes to El Marco. He tries from 15. Misses again. And boy, Kansas leaking air out the tires right now. Here's a drive by Skilling. Self needs a timeout. He's got 2 really good players just sitting at the scorer's table waiting for a stoppage. It never came. The drought continued and the deficit got larger. And right now, this Kansas team is absolutely gassed and looking like they're in an almost insurmountable hole. 32-18 with 44. Make it 4:40 to go here in the first half.
And Skillings is the guy that made his decision up at about the half-court mark when he wanted to get to the rim. And they're either hitting threes or they're getting layups, and that's not when they're making their threes, that is not a recipe for success. It's Kansas' biggest deficit of the night at 14.
And you hate to say it, Greg, because you don't have many options on the bench, but I don't think they can afford to sit both Furphy and Adams at the same time.
This is where Johnny needs to rise up. And, we talk a lot about Johnny and his prospects next year with us or in the NBA, and this is where he can show everybody what he can do, and that's taking somebody off the bounce, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, making a 3, and you see who Bill challenges right now is El Marco and Parker are the 2 on the bench.
Plenty of time to get back in it, but you can't let the dam break any more than it already has. It's a 10-0 Cincinnati run. Kansas is 0 for its last 7, a scoring drought of nearly 4.5 minutes. 32-18 Cincinnati. KJ at the top. Passes off to Furphy, who gives it right back. KJ on a drive, gets inside. He's stripped but fouled. And he should get 2 free throws, will KJ Adams. And that's where you just got to have one of those two guys on the floor with DeJuan. As soon as they both went to the bench, Furphy and Adams, you gave up a 10-0 run.
Yeah, and we talked about that against Baylor when we do the wholesale substitutions. You got to have a star on the floor at all times, and with those two on the bench, it's difficult. KJ rims out the first.
One more coming for Adams, who did have a free throw make earlier, completing the old-fashioned three-point play. Kansas now 2 of 4 from the free throw line. The Hawks in the regular season shot it at 73%. Second free throw good. That halts the scoring drought of 4:32. And it cuts the deficit to 13 with 4:20 to go here in the first half. All kinds of time, but right now, all the momentum wearing black and red. Precocious. Left side, Thomas, guarded by Furphy there. Cincinnati patiently working it around the perimeter. Now Skilling's out front, looking to drive on KJ. Leans in, puts up a wild one that's an air ball. Another offensive rebound, though, to Newman. His stick back misses. Rebound tipped about. Cincinnati gets it on their knees with Skillings. They'll get another crack at it. Skillings on KJ, muscles up, misses, and finally Johnny Furphy clears the board for Kansas.
Not often do you give up 3 looks and get out of there without a bucket, and there's a turnover by Johnny as Nick Timberlake went back door, and we threw it out of bounds. It'll be Cincinnati ball after a nice stop on the other end where you dodged a bullet. Cincinnati will have it when we come back.
32-19. It's still early, but the game is starting to slip away from Kansas. They need a serious run here in the final 3:40 to cut this thing down to single digits and have some glimmer of hope heading into the halftime locker room.
The Jayhawk Radio Network attire is presented by Weaver's Department Store. Weaver's has served Kansas faithful since 1857. Shop Weaver's for all your premium Jayhawk apparel and more for the entire family. Visit Weaver's at 9th and Mass, downtown Lawrence.
32-19 Cincinnati. 3:40 to go in the first half on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with doing your homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you are just coming off the bench or are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com. That's smartinvestks.com.
FNBO free checking is checking that's actually free. No fees or minimums. And now, no overdraft fees. It's ever so personal, with people to help every step of the way. And easy, with a mobile app that allows you to deposit checks and manage your account wherever you are. So make the switch so you can do more with a great big small bank. Visit FNBO.com to learn more or stop on by. It's ever so free. FNBO free checking. Proud bank partner of Kansas Athletics. Member FDIC.
It's Ford Truck Month. Oh, you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month, based on 1977 to 2023 industry-reported total sales.
Council.
32-19, the play free, let it fly style with this shorthanded group of Jayhawks right now has yielded a 13-point deficit here early. Still plenty of time to go, but like I said, you got to find your footing a little bit heading into the half and not just get this deficit even larger and have the doors blown off you. When Kansas put Furphy and Adams on the bench, they proceeded to go into a 4.5-minute scoring drought. Itself was trying to get it back in, but there was an extended run without a dead ball, and it wound up being a 10-0 run for Cincinnati, which just buries the Hawks at that point by 14. They're going to take out Timberlake here with a late substitution late in the timeout process. He was on the floor ready to come in, and Self sends El Marco in his place.
Yeah, right now Nick Timberlake just has got nothing going, and Marco had a couple energy plays. So, got to finish this half strong. Got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to dig into this 13-point deficit.
If you're just joining us, El Marco had a dunk that ranks up there with the Wayne Selden, Ochai Agbaji great dunks of Big 12 tournaments past. A soaring 94-foot drive, and he takes off from probably 6 or 8 feet in front of the rim and slams it down with 2 hands in traffic. At that point, KU had clawed back to down 1, but man, did Cincinnati ever come back with a quick counter punch. They had a 7-0 spurt right after, and next thing you know, the run extends all the way out to, at one time, a 14-point Cincinnati lead.
I think what's going to have to happen is El Marco can't check in. Yeah. Nick Timberlake's going to come back in. El Marco will go to the scorer's bench.
I mentioned that the 5 that we're going to play to start this next stretch were already on the floor, and Self made a late change of mind to send in Jackson, but I guess they felt like the buzzer had rang and the timeout was over and it was too late to do that.
And Bill just got into a little bit of an argument with someone over there on the scores table.
32-19 to Cincinnati. Lukosius collects between the circles, enters inside. Reynolds taking McDowell to school with a drop step pivot, banks it home. 34-19, the Bearcats with their biggest lead.
Not much you can do there. I mean, you get that kind of position with Jamar McDowell on your back, going to get a layup.
Adams at the top, gets a screen from Harris. Right side, Nick. Kansas in a huge 15-point hole. 3 minutes to play in the half. Juan loses the handle, gets it off to Timberlake. Fires one inside toward KJ. 6 to shoot. Finds Furphy in the corner. He stumbles, and he's bailed out on a foul call on Reynolds with 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Cincinnati is just challenging everything, and, you know, right now Kansas getting no lanes to the basket. You would think as you go smaller, you'd be able to run kind of that 3-man weave out top and turn the corner, but since it gives them a ton of credit, they've been playing really strong defense and not giving anything easy to Kansas.
Wes Miller's a good coach. He played for Roy Williams at North Carolina. He was on that 2005 North Carolina National Championship team, and Coach Williams likened him as a player to Jeff Geldner back in those days. Harris puts up a floater that misses. Rebound Cincinnati, and Bandego.
You know, right now,
float game a little off.
Yeah, the float game just isn't there. Might want to see him just use the screen out top and take some threes.
Harris 1 of 5, and the Jayhawks from three-point land 0 for 7. We were excited about Let It Fly. Maybe these guys will catch fire, get some confidence. They don't even have a spark right now at 0 for 7. Lukosius driving on Furphy, takes him to school and banks it in. Just beat him off the bounce and muscled over him for the easy deuce. 36-19. Adams picks up his dribble, throws back for Harris. Harris looking to drive, up and under, gets it to go. Beautiful little scoop shot by DeJuan. And that's KU's first field goal since the Jamari tip-in at the 9-minute mark. Thank you, David Lawrence, for that stat. Jayhawks had been one of their last 9. 36-21 Cincinnati. A step back by Newman for 3. He hit the deck. Shot misses, and an offensive foul fighting for the rebound on Bandego. Just the 5th foul on the Bearcats, so no free throws. The KU dodges a bullet, not only on the missed 3, but it looked like Newman was trying to sell the foul there. Thankfully, no whistle on Harris.
Yeah, that's a new way. Might as well try to sell it. We've seen a lot of officials that have called it, so good job by this crew now. Kansas down 15 with the ball. Hopefully 3 or 4 more possessions, string some stops, get a couple buckets, and regroup in the locker room.
Perfect. Off to El Marco between the circles. Left side, Harris.
Throw it up.
Steps through. Kicks back to Furphy. Shot clock showing 10. El Marco to KJ. Leans in, forces one up that's blocked. And a late whistle and a foul called on Cincinnati. Jerry Pollard blew the whistle. KJ Adams will get 2 free throws.
2 fouls on Bandego in the last 20 seconds, so KJ back to the free throw line.
6th team foul on Cincinnati.
And I think it would have been good defense, but he swiped down at the very end. He went up vertically, did everything right until you just swipe down. They're going to call that every time.
Kansas has done a great job of playing without fouling themselves, knowing that they have zero depth tonight. Just 4 fouls on the Jayhawks, and we've got 1:22 to go in a half. Free throw for KJ is good on a pure swish. Hawks down 14. KJ today from the charity stripe, now 3 of 4. He was team 4 of 6. One more coming for the junior out of Austin, Texas. Honorable mention, all Big 12 selections for the second straight year. He hit them both. KU cuts it to 13 with 1:22 to go in the half.
You know, we talk all the time on deficits like this. What do you got to do to get to half? Like, if you can get this under double digits, get into the locker room with a little momentum, that's half the battle to coming back.
The Bearcats themselves erased a 16-point deficit yesterday. Lukosius misses on a 3. Offensive rebound, though, to Reynolds. Throws to Lukosius. He drives in, scores, and the foul. It's an and one for Lukosius, and the foul on Jackson.
Well, you forced the miss. Great first shot defense. Elmarco's right there. Could have got the rebound. He doesn't get it, and a streaking Lukosius down the middle gets fouled by Elmarco, and it's hard to get it to single digits when you give up second chance opportunities and traditional and ones.
Second foul on Elmarco. Free throw misses strong. Rebound Jackson of Kansas. Lukosius normally shoots him at 85%. 38-23 Cincinnati. Inside a minute to go here in the first half. Jackson pulls up from 15. Bang! Elmarco Jackson catching fire, and Kansas down 13.
Wes Miller's going to get a timeout. Probably get a little 2 for 1, but nice job by Elmarco. Kind of going to his right, catched it, caught it behind as he was kind of, his body turned around. He squares up, and that's the Elmarco that we thought we were going to get this year. And if we can just get more of that, man, he'd be something special.
That's where you'd really like to win at least one game in Kansas City this week, so guys like Elmarco and Johnny and Jamari and Nick can all get some extended run. If you go one and done and you're heading home tonight, you're not getting that extra playing time and confidence-inducing opportunities.
Well, we talk a lot about it as Kansas fans. When you lose in the Big 12 tournament, we get the narrative that, okay, we get more rest. And that but to your point, another game would be nice to get these guys rolling, especially Nick Timberlake.
You don't mind KJ and Dewan playing on back-to-back days for just a couple of games. That's not a factor. It's, quite frankly, a bigger advantage to get those role players more confidence than it is having to play a couple of games. Not many projected Kansas much farther than Wednesday night, given how good Baylor looked against the Hawks at full strength just 2 weeks ago. But right now, getting out of opening night is looming like a larger challenge than they anticipated. Down 13 with 35 seconds to go in the first half.
No rush at all for Cincinnati here as they're trying to get a 3 in the corner. I think it's got to be Kansas ball, yeah.
Neither official near the play got a clean look at it. Nick Timberlake advised him, hey, that's off Cincinnati.
So essentially Kansas can get the last shot, 0.8 differential shot clock to game clock. But it was funny, the outside official, Ray Natili, made the call because they both looked at each other like, I don't know. We talk about that all the time. Like, then they make a demonstrative call that it's clearly Kansas. We'll take it. We need a break.
Nick Timberlake the whole time was pointing Kansas ball, as he should.
There you go.
But he never hesitated. And finally, they decided KU ball. Give it to the team down 13.
See what Bill can draw up here. Pretty much dribble it down to about 8 seconds and then go.
Harris initiates at 10 on the clock. Throws off to Jackson. They lob it ahead to Nick. Trapped in the corner. Spins back. Throws to Jackson with 3 on the clock. Going to have to throw up a prayer. It misses. Rebound Cincinnati, and halftime is here.
Actually got a pretty good shot that time by Elmarco, who had just made a mid-range jumper short off the rim, and Kansas will go into the locker room down by 13.
The mantra this week without Dickinson and McCullough was 3 things. Play free, let it fly, have some fun. One of those 3 happened in the first half. I think they played free. But right now the Hawks find themselves down 13, and they're letting it fly. It's happened, but They're 0 for 8 from downtown, and that's not a recipe for this small, short-handed, and undersized Kansas team to stay with Cincinnati. They trail by 13 at the break.
Overall, defensively, you're okay holding them to just over 40% from the field, but getting out rebounded 24-18, and the big difference in the game is 15 points beyond the three-point line by Cincinnati and 0 for Kansas. How are you going to make those up?
We'll talk about that and more straight ahead on our halftime show. Kansas down a Baker's dozen to Cincinnati in second day action of the Big 12 tournament. Hawks try to play their way into the quarterfinals, but down 38-25 at the break. On the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Merit Trust Credit Union here. We are proud to be the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. We're passionate about providing student athletes and our community with the resources needed to make the best financial plays. We know everyone has a unique relationship with money, and we want to help you take hold of your financial future. That's the credit union difference. Visit merittrustcu.org to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA. It's game time. Rock Chalk.
It's Ford Truck Month. Are you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month, based on 1977 to 2023 industry reported total sales.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Coach Self here. When I prepare for a game, I always do my homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you're just coming off the bench or you are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
20 minutes of Jayhawk basketball are in the books. Welcome to the Kansas Jayhawk Halftime Show on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield. Brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health, the Kansas Department of Insurance, reminding you to have a game plan before you invest. Help is available at smartinvestks.com. And by the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. The Kansas Jayhawk Halftime Show starts now.
Well, a rough first half for the Kansas Jayhawks, who trail 38-25. If you're just tuning in and weren't paying attention over the weekend and early this week, you might not know that Kansas has 40% of the first team All Big 12, and 0% of that 40% will be playing this week in Kansas City. Both Kevin McCullough with the nagging bone bruise in his knee and Hunter Dickinson with the shoulder injury suffered at Houston have been ruled out not only for tonight but for any potential additional action in Kansas City. The way the first half has gone without them, any potential additional action may not look likely. It was instead a shorthanded small group of Jayhawks Bill Self would be leaning on here with a much outsized group with 6'6" at the 5 spot in KJ Adams and Johnny Furphy at 6'9" playing the power forward. And right now, this play scrappy, play small, shoot more threes style just isn't clicking for Kansas. As the Hawks shot 0 of 8 from 3 in the first first half. They continue to have one of their worst three-point shooting seasons in the Self era, and a team that actually led the Big 12 in field goal percentage in the regular season at 49%, thanks largely to Hunter Dickinson. You take him away and you see what it looks like. 34% for Kansas in the first half, 10 of 29. All of these stats, by the way, brought to you by Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Additionally, when you're playing undersized without your center, you're going to get out-rebounded. And that might be the case even if Hunter was on the floor, because Cincinnati is the number 2 rebounding team in the entire league. Right now, the battle on the boards going to Cincy 24-18. Second chance opportunities favoring Cincy because of that, 7-4. Points in the paint favoring Cincinnati, 20-16. Kansas was led by KJ Adams, 10 first-half points. He was 3 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. DeJuan Harris added 4. He was 2 of 6. So, too, was Elmarco Jackson. He had 5, though, and 1 electrifying dunk. Unfortunately, the Furphy and Nick Timberlake breakout just hadn't happened. Those two have combined to go 1 of 8, with Nick 0 for 5, one of which was blocked.
The Kansas City Barbecue Store is open 7 days a week at I-35 and 119th Street, right across the lot from Joe's KC in Olathe.
Save big money on your next painting project at Menards. Freshen up your home with a grand finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. You'll save time on your projects because it's a premium paint and primer in one with high hiding coverage and long-lasting color. Pittsburgh Grand Distinction comes in over 700 one-coat colors. Explore all the color options in store and on Menards.com. And check out more of our great deals going on now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Let the madness begin. Register for the Sports Radio 810 WHB Bracket Challenge today. Go to 810WHB.com and click on the Bracket Challenge icon and get signed up. There will be incredible prizes, including items from Mr. Davis, gift cards to Dewey's Pizza, Green Grass Cattle Company, and more. It's simple to register and form your own bracket challenges with friends or within your office and compete in the overall Sports Radio 810 WHB Bracket Challenge. Brought to you by Mr. Davis, Dewey's Pizza, Green Grass Cattle Company, and Truity Credit Union.
Really? Welcome back to T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. The Jayhawks trailing by 13 as we get set to start the second half of play. It's time to pick our Old Dominion Freight Line player of the half. KJ Adams was your lone offensive spark with any kind of consistency. 3 of 5 for the field, 4 of 5 for the free throw line. Of course,
had 1 rebound, made a couple free throws.
For those who are the best at while striving to be the best at theirs as well. Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics. 38-25 Cincinnati. Biggest keys to a Kansas comeback in the second half.
Containing their shooters beyond the arc and in the paint. That was basically where they operated. And then on the other end, we got to see the ball go through the cup.
Color and DeJuan Harris, Elmarco Jackson and Nicholas Timberlake. Jackson was 2 for 6. Nicholas Timberlake was 0 for 5, including a shot from the corner that hit the top of the backboard and almost hit the shot clock.
Yeah. And deficit in Big 12 tournament history. Had just 2 field goals in the last 9 minutes, and here's a miss by KJ as they went right to the rack, and Adams threw it strong off the glass, no good. Rebound Cincinnati.
Yeah, they isolated him on the right side, and no one was there, but when he got to the rim, there's a couple of Bearcats that changed the shot.
38-25 Bearcats. Cincy with the ball. Looking to win on a second consecutive day and take on Baylor tomorrow night at 8:30. Lukosius turns from deep and misfires on a 3. Rebound Elmarco Jackson. Here comes Kansas. Harris up the floor. Nick out to Elmarco. Fakes on a 3. Takes a long 2. It misses. And the rebound is Cincy. Nick would have had an open 3, but the pass by Harris came in at his shoe tops. Skilling's on the other end. A flip from the hip misses. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Off of whom? They say off Cincy.
But right there was a perfect illustration. Nick Timberlake has to shoot that.
But he got it on top of his shoes.
Yeah, but he was still open enough to shoot the ball, and that's the confidence that he doesn't have right now. He needs to see it go in, and the only way it's going to go in is if you shoot it.
0 for 5 in the first half was Timberlake. I agree. Got to give him a chance to see the ball going down. Dewan dribbles it off his shins, but gets it back and throws out to KJ. Promptly gives it right back to Harris. Little stop and go. Tough contested layup. Misses. Juan hits the deck hard, and the rebound to Cincinnati. There's a slick spot that he slipped on, and nobody's seeing it from the Big 12 to come out. Cincy with the ball and a 13-point lead. Lukosius driving on Furphy. We got Lithuania versus Team Australia there. A leaner here and a shot that misses short. He gets his own rebound. Misses again. Pushed in the back was a Jayhawk. It was Jackson. No foul call. And are they going to say out of bounds off Kansas? He got leveled.
It was KJ Adams that pushed Elmarco. He definitely went to the ground.
Nick Timberlake with a quick hook here comes off 90 seconds into the half. Jamari McDowell takes his place. Maybe it's not meant to be his night. Newman wide open at the top, turns down a three to drive instead, leans in, gets away with a travel, or does he? There's the late whistle, and Jerry Pollard says traveling indeed on John Newman.
It's kind of a new move in this modern era of basketball. I don't actually think that's a travel, but they called it. Break for Kansas.
We'll take any break we can get down 13. Furphy throws off to Harris. Hawks whipping it around the perimeter. McDowell juggles on the catch. Gets a screen from KJ. Throws it back to KJ. 12-footer. Good. KJ Adams gets it to go. And the Hawks down 11 as this crowd is just begging for anything to get up and cheer about.
And that possession was good. It had some rhythm. It had some motion. A lot of guys touched it. A screen and a little pocket pass.
There's a wild pass that goes off the backboard by Cincinnati and stolen away by Johnny Furphy.
Wild is right. Almost broke the backboard.
Here comes McDowell. Harris finds Furphy. Dials up a three. Missed it short. Rebound KJ. Out to McDowell, and KU will keep. Hawks now 0 of 9 from 3. Just 3 field goals in the last 12 minutes. Wando's shot is blocked, but a foul's going to be called. Caught a little bit of the wrist of Harris as they pin this one on Skillings.
Wow. Sure looks like a clean block. You'll take it if you're Kansas. Wow. That was all ball. But a break for Kansas after holding Cincinnati scoreless all half, albeit 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Get this into single digits with a couple of free throws by Dewan.
First of which is good. Harris has been a great free throw shooter this year at 77%, 37 of 48. This will be his 50th attempt of the year right here. Kansas number 2 nationally in assists. Think largely to this man, who averages 6.5 a game. He rattles in the second free throw, but his best assist target is out tonight in Dickinson. Wando's got to do more scoring himself. Crowd getting to its feet, imploring these Jayhawks to keep the run coming. It's a 4-0 spurt. Let's see if they can get another stop with 12,000 in blue all on their feet right now.
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now. 4-0 run has got this crowd going.
Lukosius holds it 30 feet from the bucket. Looking to drive on Elmarco. Shot clock showing 5. Leans in, slips, throws up an air ball. Rebound Furphy. Here come the Hawks. KJ down the right sideline. McDowell. He ties the 3. He got it to go. Jamari McDowell shoots it in from the left wing. And this joint is jumping as KU claws back to within 6.
7 unanswered to start the second half. That's exactly what you want. That's how you start. Wes Miller knows what can happen in this building, even though it's his first trip here. He knows what it's like here in this region with a capacity crowd of Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas back within 6.
What a moment for McDowell. He's had a heck of a ball game. 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
And that entire timeout, the last 20 seconds, Wes Miller has been all over Jerry Pollard. They had to warn him a couple times. He just about got teed up.
How about that? Well, Nick Timberlake, we were hopeful this might be the postseason to remember, and tonight, the night to light the fuse and get a spark and all that. Nick, unfortunately, 0 for 5. It's been Jamari McDowell instead. Good move by Bill Self to sub him in just 90 seconds into the half, and McDowell right now has matched his career high, and we've still got 16:43 to go.
Yeah, second leading scorer in the game, Jamari McDowell, who played only 13 minutes. Second half action is brought to you by Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
KU's first three-point make came on their 10th try of the night. But the Hawks down just 6, alive and kicking here in KC. 38-32 Cincinnati on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/Big12Sports.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is Eric Pauly, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
38-32 Cincinnati. Hawks on a 7-0 run to start play here in the second half. And Jamari McDowell, who had a homecoming to forget on Saturday, going back to his hometown of Houston, he was 0 for 5. The team lost by 30. Fast forward to Wednesday, and he's having the game of his Jayhawk career. 7 points to match a career high. He's been their biggest catalyst here in the second half.
And the last thing Wes Miller wanted was a run by Kansas to get this crowd going, and there's a miss out top at an offensive rebound by Cincinnati.
It was Thomas on the missed 3. They get it inside, and a layup is good. The offensive rebound and put back from John Newman halts the 7-0 KU run. Harris frustrated that somebody didn't cut in the right direction here. You rarely see him show frustration. He's going to step into a 3. Missed it side iron, and the rebound to Newman of Cincinnati.
And that's a shot he has to take. Not a bad shot at all, even though he's struggling right now from the field.
Wide open, Lukosius for 3. Missed it. Rebound McDowell of Kansas, and then hit the deck, and he's hurt. He's going to help himself up to the feet, and maybe more embarrassed than hurt. So he did a face plant, and Elmarco had to scoop up the loose ball. Jamari will stay in the game. He's shaking it off, and he's kind of holding his groin a little bit. Adams drives inside, muscles one up, and rattles it home. What a take by KJ, and then Cincinnati throws it away. They threw it to David Lawrence, who's got great hands, but he's not a Bearcat. It's a turnover on Cincy.
Yeah, it should have been a turnover earlier. He wasn't even out of bounds, and he was falling in, and he just threw it right out of bounds. Bucket by KJ. Kansas will have it back. Only down 6, and all the momentum right now with the Jayhawks. Jayhawk fans, get to Rally House today and shop the latest gear, KU gear, including exclusive styles and featuring your Kansas athletes. Shop Rally House in-store and online today.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball.
Sports Talk powered by fans. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City. The power of sports.
We told you after a first half in which the Jayhawks mustered just 25 points of offense, this crowd was desperate, begging to cheer for any kind of action in the second half. Well, Kansas has stormed out the gates to outscore Cincy 9-2 in the first 4.5 minutes of the second stanza, and this building has come alive in Kansas City. 40-34, Cincinnati, 15:28 to play on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Join the best in banking when you open your account with Central Bank. We're rooted in legendary customer service and have the tools to make banking easy. Our award-winning mobile app has more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9-star rating. Experience it for yourself and see why our customers love it. We can't wait to show you how awesome it is to bank with us. Get started by visiting centralbank.net/betterbanking. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
You give your all for your team, from the time you put into watching the game to the miles you drive to make it there. So to give back to Big 12 fans, you can now save 12 cents a gallon with the Fuel Forward app from March 7th through the 17th, because you fuel the game. But we fuel you.
Phillips 66, title sponsor of Phillips 66 Big 12 Basketball Championships.
No minimum purchase required, can be combined with other offers. It's always party time at Salty Iguana Mexican Restaurant. It's been that way for over 30 years. Salty Iguana, Kansas City's favorite Mexican food, has great weekly specials. Each Monday it's taco salad or tostada grande, just $8. Tuesday, royal blue tacos, $2.50. On Wednesday, it's chicken fajitas, only $15. Thursday, tamale platter, $10. And on Friday, fish tacos platter for just $14. Find your favorite Salty Iguana Mexican restaurant at saltyiguana.com or check out Salty Iguana in Prairie Village, Independence, Olathe, and Lawrence.
A completely different vibe in the T-Mobile Center over the last 10 minutes. Hawks on a 9-2 run. Taylor Swift, kind of a quasi-KC resident, playing over the loudspeakers right now. And this place all of a sudden has come alive with energy and electricity. And Kansas on the floor showing confidence and poise. They've clawed back within 4, Greg. Make it down 6, I should say. 40-34. How do the Hawks keep it coming?
Energy. Right now they're getting rebounds. They're playing great man-to-man defense. Obviously, Cincinnati's missing some shots, but, the lid finally came off. 16:45 mark of the second half. Jamari McDowell makes that three. Just opened everything up. See if they can get something quick here to KJ.
Inside of KJ. Leans in. Hustles up and gets it to fall. Clinch those biceps, baby. KJ Adams gets an and one again.
And Bill Self is one of the masters. He feeds the hot hand. Just a little lateral screen by Jamari McDowell. Got KJ in some space, and he just created. I talked pregame about how KJ did this last year. He was the 5. He was the guy. And things open up. The middle opens up a little bit more without Hunter on the floor.
Did he complete the three-point play as he did in the first half? He missed it, in and out, no good. Rebound Cincinnati. Hawks down 4 with 15:20 to play. I think he learned that post-bucket bicep flex from David McCormick. It's now his signature move every time he gets a finish.
One of the all-time iconic moments when he did that fist pump after making the shot in the national championship game.
James, a step-back 18-footer as an air ball. Rebound Johnny Furphy. Here comes Johnny down the right sideline. Up the floor, Marco stumbles to the ground, but rolls it backwards to Harris, and KU will keep. Got all kinds of slick spots they need to dry up. Harris throws it away to Lukosius. Wando being asked to do a lot today, and the turnover numbers are going up. He had 5 in the first meeting, already 4 today.
Well, they were trying to get Johnny in the corner, and Cincinnati did a nice job defending it, and when you leave your feet like that, get the turnover.
Played inside to Reynolds, back it down on KJ. A foul on KJ before the shot on the floor, and Adams will pick up his second personal foul, team's first. Not in the act of shooting. They'll have to play it in.
Reynolds got the ball, and 3 Jayhawks surrounded him, triple team him, and then they left. And that's when KJ got the foul.
The only Jayhawk starters in any kind of foul jeopardy have 2 apiece. Elmarko and KJ. Here's a missed 3 by Day Thomas. Rebound Kansas. Here comes Elmarko. Crosses over. Gets inside. Floats. Misses. Rebound Cincinnati. Everything but the finish for Jackson. Thomas up the floor. Drives in. Misses wildly. Rebound KU. Boy, Cincinnati with just as wild of a miss on their end of the floor. Johnny crosses over. Steps back. Misses. Furphy's funk continues. Johnny 1 of 5. It's been 4 straight games of Furphy just a little bit off the mark. Cincy with the ball, leading by 4. Hawks have had 2 cracks now to get down and keep this run going. Here's a drive and a foul on the floor on Kansas and Jamari McDowell.
Like you said, several cracks, down by 4. Done a nice job getting stops. Outscored Cincinnati 11-2. They've been stuck on just 2 points for a while, but cannot capitalize on the other end. But it's now a game. I mean, it's a 2-possession game with a ton of time to play, and you got the momentum. You just need to. These next couple minutes are huge here. Don't give Cincinnati anything.
Cincinnati lobs it into Thomas between the rings. Crosses over. Has it blocked by Harris. KU with the carom. Scooped up by KJ. Here comes Adams down the heart of the floor. Off to Elmarko. Back to KJ. Hawks trailing by 4. Now Harris takes a handoff from Adams. 13:35 to go. KJ from 15. Bang! Got it again. KJ Adams. He's got 18 points. Kansas down just 2.
And it all started with DeJuan's defense on the other end. He gets the block. Finally get it to a 2-point game. And the crowd is about to blow the roof off this place.
Cincinnati under pressure and looking a little tired. They fade. Miss with James. Rebound Nick. Good defense by Timberlake. And he comes up with the board.
Really good D by Nick Timberlake. Didn't give any ground. Got a hand up. Forced a tough shot. Cincinnati is reeling.
Can Kansas take the lead or tie it here? KJ for the tie. No, he missed it from 14 straight on. Rebound Cincinnati. Little crossover by Thomas. Wildly throws it away. Tipped and stolen by DeJuan. What a play by Harris. Here comes Kansas. KJ, the full distance. Misses. No foul call. No whistle. Self can't believe it. Cincinnati back the other way. A drive underneath, and now they blow the whistle as Newman forced the issue, and free throws coming for John Newman.
Well, Newman walked, and then he gets a bailout call as he wildly goes to the basket. KJ doesn't get the call on the other end, so Newman can go to the line and build on this 2-point lead.
Let me ask you something, partner. If I would have told you with 12 minutes to play, Harris would be 2 of 8, Furphy 1 of 5, Timberlake 0 of 5, and Jackson 2 of 8. How many would you have thought Kansas would be down?
Agreed. Yeah, double digits at least. You get nothing out of Johnny, Furphy, or Nick, and man, just playing with a ton of energy right now. Got to keep up that momentum. There's a missed free throw by Newman.
Newman has the highest arc on a free throw I've seen all season. It was almost higher than the camera on top of the shot clock. One more coming. It's a 6-0 KU run over the last 3 minutes. Cincinnati 0 for their last 6 from the field. They have a scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes. Second free throw. Good. And that'll halt the scoring drought. 3 points Cincinnati lead. Again, if you add up those 4 Jayhawks, Harris, Jackson, Timberlake, and Furphy, you're talking about 5 for 26. And yet the Jayhawks are only down by 3. Single possession game. Jackson at the top. Guarded closely out there, looking to drive. Leans in. Lost the handle. Furphy saves him, though. Ahead to Harris. Timberlake in the corner. Fakes on a 3. Now he pulls. Misses. Oh, it was wide open. His best look of the night. But Nick goes 0 for 6.
Yeah, he let the defender fly by. Got his feet set. Can't ask for a better look than that in the corner.
Bill Self implored him on Monday to be Boston strong, be mentally tough. He's going to have to be that to overcome 0 of 6. Here's a drive by Thomas that misses, and KJ soars in for the rebound. KJ Adams with his 4th board of the night. Harris on the other end, steps through, scoops, misses. Boy, Kansas has gone ice cold their last 4 trips after that 6-0 run.
Well, but they've been doing a nice job defensively, still holding Cincinnati to just 3 points this half. And we're over 8 minutes in, almost 9.
Kansas, one of their last 7, though. That's why they can't fully get over the hump. Skillings for 3. Missed with a brick. Got his own rebound on a three-pointer. He collected on the left block and laid it in.
Well, he knew that it was going to be short. Nobody got a body on him, and just can't give that up after good first shot defense.
Kansas now down 5. Elmarco rolled his ankle. He's hurting. Throws, it's tipped, but Nick saves the deflection. Elmarco's got a bad wheel right now. Murphy takes off. Gets a dunk attempt blocked and knocked out of bounds. Johnny's eyes got as wide as a kid on Christmas morning. He was going to try to rifle it home with a right-hand hammer, but Cincinnati soared in and got a big block that time to make sure no dunk for Murphy.
Hey, at select Kansas home games, a Folds of Honor scholarship recipient attending KU is recognized. Folds of Honor provides life-changing scholarships to the families of American heroes who protect our freedoms and our families. You can help by joining the squadron at foldsofhonor.org.
43-38 Cincinnati, 10:57 to go. What great fight out of these Jayhawks, who have outscored the Bearcats 13-5 here in the second stanza. Honestly, though, one of their last 7, they look a little bit tired. I think this timeout came at a good time.
Well, whenever you exert so much energy to get back into a game, everything's got to go perfect, and the last couple minutes hit a bit of a lull, but you got to love the fight right now. Only down 5.
No doubt.
Plenty of time.
They can regroup and get a little bit of a respite here. Down 5 with 10:57 to play on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
This is the tale of Powerball.
I'm your ticket to dream.
Powerball can transform into many things, like a boat.
Dream bigger, eh? How about a castle?
With jackpots starting at $20 million, there's no limit on dreaming. Just gotta pick your lucky numbers, and you could be on your way to
living in a castle.
CKSLottery.com for details.
We wrote the book of luck.
It's Ford Truck Month. Are you ready? And we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series. Featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. Celebrate with us, America. This is Ford Truck Month. Based on 1977 to 2023 industry reported total sales.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Our new breakfast burrito is a fully loaded breakfast. I don't even know if I have enough time to tell you everything that's inside. 2 fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, 6 strips of bacon, cheese sauce wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Yes! Now, come and get it. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new breakfast burrito. Only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
What up, Jayhawks? It's your boy Aaron Miles, the all-time assist leader, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Miles, the all-time assist leader. Bill Self, soon to be the all-time wins leader. He's 3 back of Fog Allen, and about 30 minutes ago, it didn't seem likely like he would dent that total at all here in Kansas City. Kansas was down by 17 late in the first half, but the Hawks have outscored the Bearcats 13-5 to open the second half, and right now find themselves well within striking distance. 43-38 Cincinnati, with 10:57 to play.
Beggars can't be choosers, but man, we've played a great half of basketball and only mustered 13 points in 9 minutes. Now, outscoring them by 8, you'll take all that, but all the missed opportunities, you could be playing from out front, but you got to love the fight. I mean, at halftime, we're all sitting around like, man, what do we got to do? Right? And they came out fighting, so give these guys a ton of credit.
You don't expect a 13-5 run while shooting 31%. Right. Which means Cincinnati has to be atrocious, and they are 12%. Cincinnati is 2 of 16 this half. Credit the Kansas defense for much of that. Harris to play it in, coming out of the timeout. He's behind the basket, looking. Finally lobs for KJ. KJ leans in, floats, and scores. A career night for KJ Adams. He's got 20.
He's out of bounds plays right now. That's now a couple of field goals here in this second half, getting the ball to KJ. So continue to feed him underneath. They don't have an answer for him.
On the other end, Skillings for three. Missed it strong. Rebound on the deck. Since he's got it, they'll keep. James along two is good.
And that's the second time Kansas has forced a miss, and they've made you pay with the second chance opportunities. 4 of their 7 points have come off offensive rebounds this half.
They're just 3 of 18 of the half, but that was a big bucket. Now KJ throws wildly and wide of Johnny Furphy. It's a turnover as it hits Fred Quarterbaum, the director of operations, on the sideline. How about KJ? How good has his day been? Well, his personal best all time was 22 versus Oklahoma last January in Allen Fieldhouse. He's got 20 right now with still 10-15 to go.
Kansas now continue to get hands up, do a nice job first shot defense, but got to get a body on guys.
Lukosha steps through, finds Skillings for three, got it.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. Yep. You knew it was coming, and now after all that fight, back down by 8.
48-40 Cincinnati. Kansas still with 9:55 to go. McDowell dribbling in, throws backwards for Timberlake. It's behind him, and it's stolen away by Skillings. Skillings up the floor, lost the handle. Furphy with a tip and a deflection, and KU's got it, but an injury as KJ Adams is face down on the ground, and they halt play. This is something Kansas could not afford at all, and KJ, writhing in pain, is face down underneath the basket.
And I didn't see what happened. There was a lot of action at the cup. KJ obviously went to the ground, and
he's as tough as any player on this roster.
It appears that he's grabbing maybe his right ankle. Billy Cowgill over there with a hand on him. But he's upright now, and the officials are going to the monitor. I'm not sure why. There was a very quick visit to the monitor.
Just to make sure there was nothing flagrant. Okay, here comes our look at the replay here. KJ running in to try to contest it. May have just rolled his ankle coming down.
Yeah, it just looks like that right side. As Skillings went to the ground, KJ went.
I think he's okay.
It sure looks like it. He's not favoring that right ankle very much as he walks over to the bench, so knowing how tough he is, he's probably going to be out for about one possession.
That's just it. You never see him stay down for that long, which is why all of our hearts were in our throats. And by the way, Furphy hit a transition three that doesn't count because they blew it dead right before he shot it.
Well, it was an interesting time to call, make a call on the officials' timeout. Granted, it was one of our guys, but we had numbers, and he made the three, like you said.
Hopefully for Johnny, just seeing the ball go through will help. Furphy is only 1 of 5 today and 0 for 2 from 3. They're not even taking KJ to the end of the bench. He's just getting some Gatorade. I don't think it was cramp related, but like you said, partner, I think he'll come back in pretty quickly here. Hawks down 8, 9:35 to play. Timberlake at the top, finds Furphy right side, dribbles behind his back, guarded closely, goes behind the back again, right-hand runner misses, rebound Cincinnati, and Furphy can't buy a bucket. Here come the Bearcats. Skillings throws back, a transition three, air ball, rebound Nick Timberlake of Kansas. It was Reed on the air ball miss. Hawks down 8. Can McDowell take a three? Fakes on shooting and passes back to Elmarco. He'll drive in. Elmarco cut off there by James. Throws backwards for Harris. Harris on a step through. Rifles one. It's tipped. Saved by Harris. And he throws back to a slashing Timberlake. Right-hand runner. Good. Wando got a pass deflected. Came up with the carom. And this time found Nick.
What a crazy possession. And Nick Timberlake on the board with a layup. Now got to keep getting stops.
KJ back to the scorer's table, by the way. They get it inside, and dunking on Elmarco is Bandego.
And that's one where Elmarco comes over late. I know I said avoid the fouls, but that time he just should take one. Send him to the line.
Where he's not a good free throw shooter. Kansas down 8 once more, 50-42, 8:25 to play. Harris crossing over, has it poked loose. Out of bounds off of Cincinnati, they say. And that's good news for Kansas because the dead ball allows KJ to return. We've not seen any of Parker Brown in the second half after playing very limited first half minutes, just 2 minutes and change.
One round of applause for KJ. It looks like he's 100%. Got to have him if we want to have a chance in this game. Kansas down 8.
He's 2 off a career high with 20. Think about that. He's got half of KU's points. A lob towards KJ. Deep catch. What's the call? Got a shot to go. But is it going to count? I think they called it first on the floor.
Yeah, they got a hold of his arm before KJ went up for the shot. It was the right call, but you wish it wasn't called because he made the bucket. Now, that's a couple times in the last 3 possessions where Kansas got a bucket.
Murphy, can he hit a 3? No, he missed it short. And right now, a little bit of the shine's coming off all that mid-season hype for the awesome Aussie. As Johnny tonight, 1 of 7. Kansas' struggles continue. 50-42. Here's a 3 by Lukosius. It's good. The Lithuanian does what the Australian couldn't, and Bill Self has got to take a timeout as the Cincinnati lead balloons back to 11. The Hawks had cut it to 2, but here come the Bearcats, and now with 8 minutes to play, Kansas trails 53-42.
After laboring early in the second half for 8.5 plus minutes, they've now hit a couple threes, and now Kansas has only shaved 2 points off that 13-point deficit at half.
53-42 Cincinnati, 8:01 to go. Gut check time for the Jayhawks, who are trying to avoid their earliest exit ever in Kansas City. 53-42 Cincy on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just 1 pill can kill.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
8:01 to go. Jayhawks trailing 53-42. They fought so hard to claw back and cut it to a single possession game. Down 2 at one point after a 17-point deficit late in the first. But here come the Bearcats. And next thing you know, Cincinnati back up double digits, 53-42. Still plenty of time, Greg, but we got to reverse fortune and trend fast as Kansas has really continued to struggle shooting the ball.
You did it once this half. You can do it again. 8:01 on the clock. Got plenty of time, but it's so hard to come back from double-digit deficits when you labor to score. I know it sounds an easy thing to say, but yeah, you got to be able to shoot the ball better. Kansas 7 of 20 here in the second half.
And again, those big 4 that we talked about, other than KJ, your wings and guards, Harris, Furphy, Jackson, Timberlake, those 4 are a combined 6 of 31.
Yeah, and the big surprise to me has been Johnny Furphy not being able to get it going at all here tonight. Only 2 points on a little curl screen in that first half layup, but got an opportunity here to right the ship and get him a bucket.
Harris brings it up the floor. Lost it momentarily, gets it back, puts up a floater that's good. Boy, KU needed that. Juan had been 2 of 9, but that one is pure. Hawks down 9. 53-44, 7:41 to go. Starts stringing together some more stops. Newman dribbling left side, throws back for Lukosius. Lukosius crossing over on Furphy. Former Butler star dribbles in, passes back. Shot clock at 8. Left side, Skillings. He hit a 3 moments ago, thinking about another here. Now he looks to drive on Nick, spins, and a charge is called. Nick Timberlake draws that charge. A turnover on the Bearcats.
Yeah, he extended his arm. Not a ton of contact, but whenever you extend that arm, and Nick did a good job of selling it, Wes Miller almost got teed up on that. But he made the layup, but it didn't count on the turnover, so now Kansas, after a stop, chance to dig back in.
Harris, left side with the basketball, throws out to KJ at his feet, head of the circle. KJ picks up his dribble, off to Nick, tries another 3, in and out, no good. The struggles continue. He's now 1 of 8. Rebound, James.
Cincinnati in no hurry at all, playing from out front.
Lukosius leans in on Furphy, misses on a left-hand scoop shot. Rebound, pinballed out of bounds off of whom? They say Kansas tough the last.
They're going to overrule it. They're going to overrule this. I think it's going to be Kansas ball.
Indeed. How about that? The official we haven't seen all year, Tyler Kumpf, comes across the court to overrule Jerry Pollard, saying he clearly saw it, and Pollard and Natili did not. But what did Yogi Berra famously say? 90% of the game is half mental.
Right.
I think it's 110% mental right now for Timberlake, who's 1 of 8 and really a struggle from 3, 0 of 5. El Marco missing from 15, in and out, no good. Rebound, Bandego.
You can't ask for a better look. Free throw line, nobody within 10 feet of you, and been the story of the night for Kansas. Now 18 of 52 from the field.
53-44 Cincy, 6:15 to go. Precious seconds dripping away. Skillings driving on Timberlake. Right side, Newman for 3. Got it. And that feels like a dagger with 6:02 to go. Hawks down a dozen.
Yeah, you do a nice job holding them to 56 points. Got an opportunity. They scored 90 yesterday. Obviously couldn't do that.
Murphy fumbles it away. It's taken away by Thomas. Up the floor. Skillings on a dunk. And Cincy's gone up 14. And Bill Self, with his hands on his hips, just turns and looks toward the end of his bench. Out of players. Still searching for answers and running out of time. 58-44 Cincy.
Yeah, cannot turn it over like that. You give up the 3, then the turnover, and out in transition, they get an alley-oop, and Bill Self has to take a timeout, but not a recipe for success right now. Shooting the ball poorly and turning it over.
58-44 Cincinnati, 5:46 to go.
Listen up, Jayhawk fans. On game days, stop by Wendy's and buy 1 Baconator and get a second Baconator for just $1. And let's all cheer for bacon and big plays all season long. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics.
Well, we knew points would be hard to come by when you take 36 points out of KU's typical lineup with both McCullough and Dickinson sitting out this week. But you hoped that some of these other scorers that have only been used in much smaller roles up to now would step to the forefront, particularly Johnny Furphy, who had his greatest game as a collegiate against Cincinnati, a career-high 23-11 in late January in the fog. Instead, Furphy playing in front of his parents for the first time since that game in January. 1 of 7. He does have 7 rebounds, but just 2 points. That's it. And Kansas as a team, Greg, 1 of 14 from 3. You can do the math. That's 7% from deep.
And a 21-point differential between the two squads. We've made 1, they've made 8. And that, when you don't shoot the ball well and you only score 44 points, you're not very efficient from the inside of the arc either. Got a 14-point deficit. 5:46 to go. We've seen crazier things happen. But Cincinnati defensively has taken Kansas out of it. And Kansas has missed open shots.
Jayhawks opened this half on a 13-2 run. Cincinnati is countered, though, with an 18-6 run of their own. All that hard work to trim 11 points off the deficit, and now you're right back up to down 14. Find KJ in the high post. He's 2 off a career high. Goes out to McDowell, who's matched his with 7. Elmarco crosses over. Back to Jamari on the right wing. Shot clock showing 13. KJ will drive a jump stop, and a banker's good. KJ Adams matches his career high, and KU down a dozen.
Just not enough of that tonight, but 22 for KJ, still playing with a ton of energy. Went right into the body of Bandango.
Thank goodness he's okay after that hard spill he took earlier.
Yeah, I mean, as Kansas fans, everybody was just like, oh no, not again.
There's a 3 by Skillings, misses short, rebound Elmarco. Still time for the Hawks. Here they come. Harris up the floor, throws back to Elmarco. Transition 3, missed it short. Rebound Bandango of Cincinnati. Those are the shots that have to fall if you got any kind of prayer. They'd gotten a quick stop on one end. Now Thomas takes a quick 3, misses it short. Rebound McDowell of Kansas.
Can't be the shot that Wes Miller wanted right there. There's Nick again in the corner.
Wide open. Got it to go. Finally, Nick Timberlake, who'd been just 1 of 8, rips the cords from the corner, and KU down 9.
Got a little bit of hope here. Cut it to 9. Nick Timberlake, see if he can go on a run.
58-49 with 4:15 to play.
That's why it was such a bad shot by Adams. That was a quick trigger, and Kansas hit him back with a 3.
Skillings plows through Harris. No foul call. Layup good. How in the world did they swallow their whistles there?
Well, they felt it Dewan flop that time, and they just got Skillings on an offensive foul where he extended his arm.
Harris throws in the corner toward Timberlake, but it's intercepted out of bounds by Skillings, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor. At least the lid has finally come off for Nick, who Bill Self said on Monday, hey, you got permission to clip off 10 threes. Just hit half of them.
Right.
Well, on his 9th shot of the night, he finally hit 1. Kansas down 11 with 3:54 to go.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go, but can't talk enough about the fight. Everyone had counted Kansas out and still got a lot of ball to be played, but down 11. But love the effort that these guys gave here tonight.
Yeah, Nick, as bad as the shooting line has been, 4 rebounds, a steal, forced another turnover with a drawn charge. He's found other ways to contribute. You just knew you had to have these wings and guards shoot better than what we've seen. And Harris is 3 of 10, Elmarco 2 of 10, Nick 2 of 9. And Furphy obviously is barely scratched here tonight. Furphy's line currently at 1 of 7. That's just nearly insurmountable when you have those 4 struggle that bad.
Yeah, it really is, especially on the stage right here with, Johnny Furphy. A lot of NBA scouts obviously here. They can kind of be here and watch a bunch of games, see a lot of guys, so it's an easy decision for them to come. And right now Johnny is not doing a lot for them to put into their notebook.
1 of 7, 2 points for Furphy. Still time, but the clock's ticking against us. 3:54 to go. Hawks down 11 on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey there, Jayhawk fans. Coach Self here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Dillon's app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points as well. Best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another championship season. Dillon's, fresh for everyone. Rock Chalk.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Now at Sleep Outfitters, save up to 30% on Sealy, America's most trusted mattress brand. That's right, up to 30% off Sealy Outfitters, Posturepedic, and Posturepedic Plus spring mattresses. 16 models to choose from, starting at just $175. Come into Sleep Outfitters today and let our expert outfitters help you find the right mattress to fit your body and your budget, giving you the life-changing sleep you deserve. Go to sleepoutfitters.com to find the store nearest you.
Hi, this
This is 1988 national champion Chris Piper, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
KU has only ever played prior to the quarterfinal round once in 28 years of Big 12 tournament basketball. They won that game. Right now they're 354 away from their earliest exit ever in the Big 12 tournament, but obviously down 2 first-team All-Leaguers in Dickinson and McCullough tonight. They fought valiantly, but the ball just isn't going through the hoop. That's going to have to change dramatically in the final 354, down 11, and KJ throwing toward Harris just threw it away. 3 seconds post-timeout, and an unforced error will send it back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, what else can you say right there? Ball goes right through DeJuan's hands. They've had to do so much here tonight, and just a little bit of a mental error, careless turnover.
Put it on KJ, his 3rd turnover. DeJuan has 4. Those two being asked to carry the mail dramatically here tonight. They've not had much help. 60-49 Cincinnati. Lukosius, another quick 3. This one rims off. Rebound Bearcats, though. Reynolds underneath. Turns, jump hook, misses. Late whistle and a foul after the miss. They go against KU. Cincinnati's still shooting it quicker than I would expect. Up 11. They keep missing, but when you rebound on the offensive glass as well as they do, they're going to get a chance at points here with Reynolds.
Offensive rebounds were a story. 15 for Cincinnati, Kansas with 6, and they've converted a lot of those offensive rebounds into buckets, especially when Kansas was making that run. A couple of their field goals were off offensive rebounds, and you're not going to remember it as much now, down 12 with 3:26 to go. But when it was a 2-point game and they couldn't score, they missed a 3 and got a putback. And then that really helped them dig back in and get this up to double digits as he makes the second free throw now. 62-49.
He hit them both. 13-point deficit, 3:15 to go. McDowell in trouble, throws back to KJ between the circles. Adams out to El Marco. He's going to put up a fading 15-footer that misses everything. Rebound Cincinnati. It's not a great shot in that desperation moment. Down to 3 minutes to play, trailing 62-49. Cincinnati so close to moving on to the Big 12 quarterfinals and a date with Baylor at 8:30 tomorrow night. Kansas so close to getting additional rest, but what will their resume look like down to a 4 seed? And does this cost them Omaha a chance to stay close with pod seeding come Selection Sunday? There's a missed 15-footer, but an offensive rebound and a stick back for Skillings. Another crashing of the offensive glass that cost Kansas.
Well, to your question, I think Omaha is out of the mix now. I don't know if we get protected geographically like we have in years past, because we won't be a 1, 2, or 3 seed. So I think it could be a lot of places. It could be Salt Lake. It could be Pittsburgh. It could be, and I'm not that upset about it. I kind of like it when we go away and, it's 200 or 300 people, man on an island mentality. And so, we're Kansas. We're going to travel. We're going to create a narrative that fits us. Or I am going to.
I like that thought. Free throw good, 3-point play completed, 65-49 Cincy. Michael Jankovic has come on. He fakes on a 3, passes backwards to Harris. Hawks waving the white flag with 2:20 to go. A drive inside by Harris, a wild flip goes over the backboard, no good. And you feel for DeJuan. He's emptied his bucket here tonight, being asked to do so much. And we felt like he'd need to score north of 15, maybe 20 for Kansas to have a chance. Unfortunately, 3 of 11. And when Cincinnati knows that Kansas doesn't have other viable options, they can try to cut the head of the snake off. And they've focused a lot of attention on Harris, who's now going to be checked out.
Played every minute so far, warrior-type effort. But again, you can only do so much. And granted, from the field, he wasn't great, but again, KJ and DeJuan had to lead this team. And
KJ checks out as well. He equals his career high with 22 here tonight, matching what he set at home versus Oklahoma a year ago. Hawks down 16 with 2:13 to go. Jizzle James, the son of the NFL Hall of Fame running back Edgerrin James, watches from behind the Cincy bench, throws off here to Thomas. He drives in past Evers and lays it up and in. Dylan Wilhite Wright hits the deck as Kansas has almost all walk-ons in right now. Murphy out there, along with 3 walk-ons and McDowell and Pat Cassidy coming to the scorer's table. Jamari head fakes on a 3. Now he pulls, misses with a brick. Rebound Cincy. 1:40 to go. All Bearcats now, 67-49. Kansas in danger of another sub-50 performance. Something you never used to see. The loss with Houston, the second lowest output in the Bill Self era, when they mustered just 46 the other day. Tonight, 49, playing without McCullough and Dickinson. Drive underneath, misses by Thomas, rebound Murphy. Throws ahead to Jankovic. 1:12 to go. Johnny with a chance to drive, has it ripped away by Newman. And that's the type of play where it shows Johnny's still got some growing to do. Here's a 3 on the other end by Skillings. Cincinnati not pulling their stars with 1 minute to go. They're now up 21.
Well, he was trying to pull him. He just called a timeout to get him out. We haven't had a dead ball in a couple minutes. So
I didn't see any at the scorer's table. Now they all spring to their feet.
Yeah, Johnny Murphy. They had tried to get Pat Cassidy in the game to get Johnny out a couple minutes ago, but let's just dribble this out, get out of here, regroup. Gather on Sunday, go to the Selection Sunday, and do some soul searching. But you're also going to get your studs back. And then that's the biggest part of it. At least that's what we know as of now.
Jamari McDowell at the top, tries another 3, misses in and out, no good. Wilhite tipping it about, rebound Cassidy. Out to Evers. Hawks trying to get over the half-century mark here with 45 seconds to play. Wilder dribbles in, throws out to Pat, wide open for 3. He hit it! Patrick Cassidy, his first career 3. And KU goes north of the half-century mark with 35 seconds to play. He used to be an answer to a trivia question. The only Jayhawk in KU history whose only career points did not go through the rim.
Goaltend.
That is no more. He hits a 3. But too little too late as the Hawks are going to lose this one in blowout fashion by 18. Cincinnati dribbling out the final clock. James takes a layup that was a little bit suspect with 10 seconds on the clock. Most teams dribble it out and take the turnover. KU to Evers. He'll try a 3. Missed it side iron. Rebound McDowell. Stick back is good, but they will not count it. They said still in his hands when the scoreboard lit up and the final second ripped off the clock. Kansas falls in their earliest exit ever in the Big 12 tournament, 72-52. They knew it would be an uphill battle playing shorthanded without 2 All-American candidates. They hoped for more out of the supporting cast. Sadly, they didn't get it tonight. They lose by 20 here in KC.
Yeah, not a lot you could do. Cincinnati played a good game, gave Kansas a chance early in that second half. Couldn't really capitalize on their inefficiency offensively. Only scored 2 points in about 7 minutes, but that goes to what Kansas struggled with all games. They just didn't shoot the ball well. KJ Adams was great today, but the rest of the Jayhawks really struggled. I mean, Jamari McDowell was 3 of 6, but other than that, you got a 3 of 11, 1 of 8, 2 of 9. And that's not going to get it against a good Cincinnati team who was at the bottom of the Big 12, obviously, but that's a good basketball team with size, guys that can really shoot it. And, they're going to move on and play Baylor tomorrow, and we're going to go home. It's Wednesday. We got, 7 full days before we play again, maybe 8, depending on where we go. And you got to look at the positives right now. This is not the end of the season. This is the end of the Big 12 tournament. We got a lot of ball to be played, and they might sneak up on some people.
I was talking to Hunter and Kevin about that today, the fact that Kansas will be in the rare role of counted out and overlooked, even as a potential 4 seed. They'll probably go to a loaded region with UConn or Purdue at the top and a 2 and a 3 seed ranked higher.
What seed was UConn last year?
A 4 seed. They won it all. Although no one was overlooking them. They were the trendiest pick in every bracket in America. But my point is, rarely is Kansas ever overlooked heading into March Madness. And obviously Self in 20 previous years has never been worse than a 4 seed. But this is a year where if that's the projected seed line, There won't be many national pundits picking Kansas to come out of the region, and maybe that's exactly where they'd like to be. Counted out, overlooked, taken for granted, and then here come the Hawks. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, that could be our narrative.
Yeah, we say we're the New York Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys, or maybe I say it, get everyone's best shot, and everybody wants to see you lose. All right, let's be the other side of that.
We've won more recently in the postseason than both of those two.
This is fair. Fair.
72-52. We didn't win today. It was a tough pill to swallow without two first-team All-Big 12ers. It looked the part of that tonight. Kansas, before the late Cassidy three, was just 2 of 19 from beyond the arc. Shooters. Got to go get some for next year as the Hawks continue to be outscored dramatically from beyond the perimeter. Cincinnati hit 9 threes. KU's rotation hit 2, and then 1 by a walk-on in mop-up duty. 72-52, Bearcats win it on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to live play-by-play coverage of Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield. Today's game has been brought to you by Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. By the University of Kansas Health System, an official healthcare provider of Kansas athletics. Together with LMH Health, the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. And by Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. The Kansas Insurance postgame show is next as our coverage continues on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
I had this patient. His cancer treatment had him in the hospital for a while. One day we learned his grandson's prom was coming up, so secretly we arranged for him and his date to stop by. I'll never forget that night. The smile on my patient's face, the hug that didn't want to end. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing all I can. Then I help make a moment like that happen, and I know I am.
The University of Kansas Cancer Center. Why would you go anywhere else?
Just like Bill Self and his coaching staff place their best players in the right positions for success, so does the Brush Group with their multifaceted marketing team of Sun Graphics, Don Levy Letho, and Brush Art Corporation. Sun Graphics is the proud printing partner of Kansas Athletics and is known for marketing support that is nothing short of exceptional. Make sure you are scoring with all your marketing efforts by contacting Sun Graphics today. Proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Looking to elevate your next event? Introducing Uplift Coffee's new catering services. Perfect for company events, family get-togethers, or whatever event you're planning. Treat your guests to your choice of specialty coffee and non-coffee drinks, delicious food options, and in-house pastries straight from our own bakery. Pickup and delivery options available. Visit upliftcoffeeshop.com to place your catering order today.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
With Midco Business, the bright side is always at work for you. It's where bright tech meets even brighter service. You'll enjoy a glitch-free, carefree day-to-day with more gigabytes for your buck. Plus, service that means business. With all this, you might just whistle more while you work. So, ready to enjoy the Midco bright side? Visit midco.com/business today.
Welcome to the Kansas Insurance Postgame Show on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield. The Kansas Insurance Postgame Show is presented by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health, Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. And by Kansas Insurance. For all your farm, business, home, and auto insurance needs across the state, call an agent with Kansas Insurance. Now to break down today's game, let's go back courtside.
Welcome back to Kansas City. A short run for the Kansas Jayhawks in the Big 12 tournament. You knew they were probably not destined for a Saturday run when you're down McCullough and Dickinson, but this will be the earliest exit in the 28-year history of this Big 12 tournament for a Kansas team that has been the 1 seed 17 times, a Kansas team that has been in the semis 22 times. They don't make the quarterfinals this year as a shorthanded group of Jayhawks labored to make shots. They finished 3 of 20 from 3, and one of those was a mop-up duty Patrick Cassidy heave, your rotation 2 of 19. And you look at some of the wings and guards, Harris 3 of 11, Jackson 2 of 11, Timberlake 2 of 9, and maybe most notably Johnny Furphy, whose best career day was versus Cincinnati back in January. He goes just 1 of 8. So it makes it pretty easy in picking the Club Car Wash player of the game, a guy that matched his career high and was steady throughout. Your power forward, KJ Adams.
And I think he's won the player of the game the last 4 halves. But KJ Adams has been the one guy, 9 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, had 4 rebounds, but 22 points, and just played with, not that other guys didn't play with energy, his was just more productive, and KJ Adams clearly your player of the game.
He referenced his 22 matches his personal best set versus Oklahoma in January of 2023. That's the Club Car Wash player of the game. Find a location near you at clubcarwash.com. Straight ahead, we'll have a full breakdown of the box score, some highlights, and eventually some post-game comments from Bill Self. We'll see if Greg's able to huddle up with him in the locker room. Sometimes postseason, that's a little trickier than others, but we'll get you some Self, whether it's on this show or David and Sean on the Kansas Lottery Jayhawk Locker Room show from the podium. Either way, you'll get Coach's thoughts behind a 72-52 Cincinnati win that sends the Jayhawks back to Lawrence for 7 days of rest prior to March Madness. 72-52 Bearcats on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Today is the day. After